This is a very short video on the one sample t-test. The one sample t-test tests the mean of one sample. Okay, what is one sample? One sample could be mile times. It could be dollars and cents earned. It could be something as simple as business, looking at a certain something in business where you're going to be able to ask the same question of everybody, such as how long did you have to wait in line, or what was your satisfaction rating in terms of getting your telephone answered in the customer service. It could be number of times a ball is hit. It could be a number of times a shot is made in basketball. It could be test scores. It can be just about anything. So give you a test score example. I'm giving you a quiz. I take all the numbers in the quiz and I say everybody should have got at least an 80. Well, I put all the answers in there and it gives me a mean. And that mean tells me whether it's below what I thought it was or above what I thought it was. And then I can adjust what I'm doing to try and work within that. But it tells me that I can then run it against male and female and do the same thing, do a one sample t-test just with the males or just with the females, and see who was either above or below the mean. One sample t-test procedure tests whether a mean of a single variable differs from a specific constant. The constant is called the test value or criterion value. This will be on your quiz and your test, so you need to understand what a test value or a criterion value is. So we find I'm using a test here, and it's on collegiate water polo players and whether they believe they choked in competition. Now I'm kind of go over the boxes because they're all very important. Okay, you see on the left-hand side there it says choking. That was it. Did these players believe they choked in competition? You'll see the N. N is the number of participants, so there's 30 participants. The mean, which is 13.23, and the standard deviation is 1.92. We only go to the hundreds place. Okay? So the test and criterion value here was 15. Now, how did we get to 15? In this case, there was a survey performed, and there were 5 questions. Each of the questions went from strongly agree to strongly disagree, which there was 5. So your middle number is 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. Okay? There was 5 total questions, and the mean was 3. So that's the middle. In this case, it would be the middle number. So if you take the 3 times 3 times 3 till you get 5, you get 15. So anything above 15, they believe they're choking, and below 15, they're not choking. So in this case, the criterion value or test value was 15, and the mean was 13.23. The reported mean was under 15, so the participants believed they did not choke in competition. This is basically your conclusion. So when looking at these boxes, you need to understand what the N is, the mean, and the standard deviation. Okay, so this is the test box 2. Now, in one of the other videos, you're learning about the p-value. Okay, you'll notice here right in the middle where it says significance and p-value. Significance here is 0.000, which is below 0.05. In this case, that means it's significant. Okay, it's basically highly significant. In this case, the negative 5.029 for the t-value. Okay, if you round it up, it's going to be negative 5.03. Equates to the same thing as the significance. Okay, in most cases we'll report it. So that t-value is almost the same as the significance. It just looks at the numbers in a different fashion. They're the same, but it looks at it differently in terms of rejection or non-rejection, and that would either reject the null or reject the null and accept the alternative. They both answer the same question. Just my opinion that p-value is easier to understand in the long run. You notice here in this box it says the test value is 15. The degrees of freedom, which will be given to you in another week, it is to run the test, you have to have something that varies. In this case, we're dealing with a one sample. So you would have an n minus 1, n meaning there was 30 participants in this test, which we saw in the other box, minus 1, which is free to vary. Okay, and with that, you get a DF of 29. That DF is reported, but it really goes toward the t-value and not the significance value. Okay, significance is what we look at. Anything below 0.05 is significant, anything above. In this test, the p-value is under 0.05, therefore the test was significant. There were 29 degrees of freedom, and the t-value was negative 5.03 rounded up. These are all the important things that you need to know for the test box, for the one sample t-test boxes.